Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Assalamu Alaikum. Welcome to another episode of the Deen Show on location. And we've interviewed all sorts of Muslims all over the world. I told you if there's a Muslim on the moon, we'd be interviewing him. But I found a Muslim from Romania, a Romanian Muslim loving Islam. Jibril, Assalamu Alaikum. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah. Good to be here. Alhamdulillah.
I want to ask you a few questions, inshallah.
All right.
So, in a predominantly Christian, Orthodox, Catholic Romania, how did you find Islam?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, it's a long story. I'll try to make as short as possible. Yes, Romania is predominantly Orthodox and some Catholic. That's my background. Most of my family was, raising me that way. Christianity is part of the culture there. It's not something that you just choose. You're raised into it. We were having Bible class, starting grade 1, and I'm not talking about here just your normal average Bible study. Like you actually go in depth, and you and I developed actually a love for faith, for Christianity, and I used to be one of the only ones in my family used to go to church. Actually, believe it or not, grade 1, I would go myself to church, and even pick some of the kids in the neighborhood and take them to church, And even the parents were like, "What is this guy doing?" Yeah. So it was I developed a love for God and interest in faith. To the point where I used to cross the road, I used to cross myself, I was very, very into it. And I was introduced to Islam very early, actually. Part of our history classes in Romania, we have a long history with the Turks, with the Muslim Turks, and we were always taught that they're disbelievers. They believe in this God, Allah, who is a different God, who is just someone out there who is totally different. Right? So, we were kind of taught not to like them. I wouldn't hate them, but not to like them. And the Romanians were always praised, and, they defeated Turks, and, but obviously history knows that.
So the Muslims were called Turks?
Yeah, the Muslims were called Turks. And we were memorizing, even now I know some poetry in Romania, kind of against, the Muslim Turks, and praising the Romanians and the Christian armies and how they defeated, in certain battles, the Turks. So, it was very nationalistic type.
Nationalistic, that's part of the culture.
It was part of the culture, and so I had that preconceived idea. When push comes to shove, different things happen in my life, and I kind of, when I came to Canada, which was 1998, I was introduced to Muslims. I actually finally got to meet a Muslim, and I was like...
Was it a Turkish Muslim?
It was not a Turkish Muslim. It was actually a Bosnian Muslim.
Bosnian Muslim.
Bosnian Muslim. And, I met other Muslims, Arab Muslims, and I've seen these, variety of people from different backgrounds, all being Muslim, all talking about this Allah, this God, Allah, and I was like, who is this, Allah? So finally, slowly, I realized, first of all, that some of the things that they were saying about Muslims, being pagan and, bad people, that they were not. They're actually very nice people and good people, and they're actually praying Allah, and they prayed in a manner which, I really, really became to love from the beginning. When I would, see my friend praying, I felt like I was missing something myself in my prayers, So actually, at one point in my life, when I was still Christian, I used to get down and make sujood, because I felt like that's like closer to God than just my normal prayers while kneeling or while just crossing my hands. Right?
Meaning they would like fall on their face and pray to God.
Right.
Come up all the way down.
Right. They would make what's called a full prostration, which is weird because it's also described of Jesus, peace be upon him, of doing it in the Gospels, right? So he did that. So I really became to love that way of praying. I started being very interested in Islam. Trying to understand a little bit about Islam, trying to see, and a lot of the things that I knew before about Islam were just misconceptions. And there came to a point where I was really I would say it was the guidance of God that really made me question my own faith. I was really into different things happened in my life. Basically, I mean, I wouldn't like to flaunt it on.
You were like just everybody else, just chasing the material world, satisfying the flesh, and
Okay, if you want to put it, yeah, I was drinking, and even though I didn't like drinking, but I was trying to be in conformity with my friends and everyone.
It's the past, but it's reality. That's what people are caught up into, just having a good time, get all you can.
That's what it was with Canada. They were coming here. My parents kind of divorced, and basically certain things happened that really opened my mind. Right?
Something missing now. You were missing something.
There was a lot missing from the beginning, actually, and now I realize that, and that void was very deep right now when my life was even more empty because my family was broken apart, and I was culturally confused coming to Canada, right? Like the culture was different, right? So I was having identity issues. I was like, I mean, who am I really? And what is that same question that everyone asks. What am I here for?
The nightclubs and the drinking wasn't, and all that stuff wasn't satisfying answering your questions, right?
I turned to the female, side for some time, and that supposedly gave some, took my mind off it for some time. But no, it didn't. The nightlife and the drinking, which I didn't like. The drugs I never did because I couldn't. I was just a sports guy all the time, so I couldn't do. But the nightlife never did. I used to go back in my bed at night, and I remember being drunk and just laying on the back and just sitting almost nightly, every night I would say this to like, okay, what did I just do, like I went, I laughed, I had fun, yes, I got drunk, and I danced, but I just feel like so empty. What did I do? I mean, I don't feel happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing, like it's so fake because you're there and you pretend you're having a good time. But I would go home and I would literally be like what? I don't know, like, can I see myself like this in 5 years, 10 years? What am I really doing? So I was very, very empty, and I was definitely looking for something. And then it came to the point where I was involved with a certain girl, and we had some issues and arguments. I remember that one night very, very very well actually, that I asked God to I fell on I doing that sujood, that prostration to
the way the Muslims prayed. You copied that. You fell on your face. You humbled yourself.
I humbled myself, and I remember I was crying because I was so depressed. I was just like, man, like, I don't know, I'm not happy, I mean, I came from a third world country where everyone's dreaming to come to Canada, everyone's dreaming to come to the United States, right? That's like the utopia, you want to go there. But when you reach there, it's just like, okay, a year, you're just like, wow, nice buildings, nice cars, nice clothes. But then after some time, you're just like, okay, is that it? Like, where's all that hype that everyone's talking about? So I humbled myself and I put my head down to the ground. I was just depressed. I was like, man, I don't know who I am. And I said, oh God, I'm not happy with, girlfriend, this, that, money, whatever, you're trying to get. I'm not happy, like,